Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of twisting a tree of life in a bracelet hoop. In part 1, we used 22 gauge wire. In part 2, we're using 24. I also changed the way that I put the wire on with the 22 gauge wire. It is not with a slip knot, but it's beautiful and it's easy on your hands. The reason for this tutorial is to show you the difference. Now, to save time, because if you've been watching my videos, you know I always use a slip knot. So, and this is the wire that I'm using for this one, if I didn't show you. So, for the sake of time, I went ahead and I put 11 of them on with a slip knot, and I'll do this last one with you. Fold my wire in half, insert it into your hoop. Take the two ends, bring them through your hoop, and pull it. Give it a little tug, and then put your twists in. I'm going to twist this the same exact way as the other, and there are other tutorials on doing a bracelet, a tree in a bracelet that goes into great detail. So before I get started, what I would like to show you, you'll probably make 5, 6, 7, 8, however many you make. You're going to find that one that you say, gee, I really like the way that tree looked. So I'm going to show you how to ensure that when you find the one that you love, or if you just like it and you want them all to look the same as I did when I did my 4 seasons, this is how you do it. The only difference with this is the gauge of the wire. So use the one that you love as a template. So when you put your wires on and you twist, this is a little bit longer, but you can use this as a guide. If you like the length of your tree trunk, which this is pretty unique, I do like that. So maybe we'll use that as a template for the trunk. You can make it that long. You know, you also don't have to twist your trunk if you don't want. You can leave your trunk straight like this. That's another option. And then just put a twist up here to do your branches. But that's another whole ball game. So anyway, we're going to put that aside just for now. The next step in making your tree is to separate your wires in half. I do this with every tree that I make. Some of you have seen every video that I've ever made. For everyone that's new, welcome. I don't edit. So, but I teach you how to make a tree. Anyway, after you do that, get your roots to where you'd like them and hold on to them. And I use my thumb as a guide. Make sure that you have your roots where you like. Double check. That'll work for me. And then just gently put a few twists. Don't over twist your trunk, because then you're not going to have room for your branches and your beads. So, let's see. Okay, let's just check it out with the template. Oh, it came out exact. Now you can see the difference. This is 24 gauge. Excuse me, guys. 24 gauge wire next to 22. This wire has become very washed out looking to me, and that's this one. And that's, I'm so sorry. This is the one that I used for years, and they no longer have it in 24 gauge. I don't know if you can see that in the side by side. This one here, the 24 gauge, has a very nice shine, very pretty silver look to it. I'll do another side by side as we go along. Okay, so, so sorry. And I don't edit, so you get to hear that. I apologize. The next step that we're going to do is take 4 wires from your left and 4 from your right. This will create the top part of the tree. Part 1 is great detail, and there are other tutorials as well, but because I have to make it, I'll do it anyway. And in case you missed it, that's what I'm doing. Sometimes you can get all 4 that belong, sometimes not so much. You have to make sure you get the ones that are not going to cross from below another wire. So there's 4 there, and there's 4 there. Support your work down here, because if you don't, you're going to have wires that don't come out looking so good on the sides, and sometimes that happens anyway. But the best way to ensure it doesn't happen is to hold on to them. Push these down a little bit, get your finger right there, cross your wires over like that, and now put in 1 complete twist. And that's the top part of your tree. When you're working a bracelet, that's the only twist that you really make. And the same on the sides, it's just 1. In other size trees, on the sides, you need more to make your branches longer. Okay, so there's 4 and 4. We're going to do the same thing. Hold on to it with your thumb, cross your wire over, and hang on to that. 1 complete twist, just like that. Then put it to the side. And go over to your last section. Again, 4 and 4. Notice I always rotate my work in my hand to grasp it. It also makes it easier on the old hands. Hold on to your work, cross your wire over like that, and now completely twist it like that. So that's the shape, the beginning of the shape of the tree. Now when you come back here, you can put in 1 more, cross it over, just like that, just 1, because you want this and this to be, it doesn't have to be exact, but it looks better if it's a little close. If you want it to look like I do, I like it to look kind of sort of even. Novelty, not perfect, they're never the same. So let's look at it with this one. And right now, that's about the same to where we're going to twist next. So if you're going to make a template, so far, these 2 trees look like they're going to be the same. I'm not going to measure every single twist. I'm just not, unless I wanted them to be identical, and I don't really, that doesn't matter to me right now. Just a little bit of information if you find one that you love. Okay, so now we're going to put some twists to make the branches. That's good. Don't want to do too many because then you won't have room. Because we're going to come back and put more twists, and you have to have room for your beads. And we're going to do this all the way around. Take those 4 wires, separate them into 2 and 2, and put in your twists, and go on to the next. Separate them into 2 and 2 like this. Support your work. Cross them over, and put in the twists like that. And again, sometimes they separate nicely. You don't have to turn. Every time I say that, I jinx myself. And put in the twists like this. All the way around. Oops. There we go. And cross it over and put in your twists. Really not that hard. Can be tough on your fingers. Take breaks if you have old hands like I do. But this 24 gauge wire is much easier to work with. And for years it was my preference in a bracelet. I would put it in a 4-inch loop. I just don't think that it would be wide enough. Though some people, when I was no longer able to get this 24 gauge in my favorite wire, didn't notice it, but I did. So again, it's just a matter of preference. Now we're ready to go around again and separate our wires into 2 and 2 and put in some twists. Like that. We'll add more as we go when we're beading. Probably. Let's see. And separate them. And twist. That. You don't have to twist your whole tree out. You can do it in sections if you prefer. I do it this way because if I don't, I forget the last two. And then I've beaded without making the final twists, and it doesn't look as nice. I find what works best for you. And just keep going. Get the next two. And if you're new here and you hear snoring in the back, that's my cat, Miss Abby. She's angry because it's early in the morning and I'm talking. So I try to talk a little bit soft. And I've made some changes to my sound system, so I hope that you can hear me. Let me know. I'm used to talking really loud because I wasn't heard properly. I'm working on it. I still can't get used to the feeling of this. I haven't twisted out a tree with 24 gauge wire in years. It's so easy. The twist, the tension on it just feels different. I'll do a comparison in 1 minute. Let's see if you notice it. You'll feel it, especially if you do one with each. No, wrapping. I still wrap. If you're new here, there is a tutorial on the playlist, wrapping, or sometimes I refer to it as lacing your branches. I do it in a bracelet as well. It is a step that I never ever skip, and I do it with this one, the 24 gauge. You can do it with 22. It's just easy with this because it's so easy and soft. Okay, so this tree is ready to bead. Once you have them with just 2 wires, there's no more twisting, so you're done. But let's see what this looks like in comparison to 22 gauge. Well, first of all, this is pokey. The wire is stiff, so it is definitely, you can see, it is quite beautiful. The shape holds really nice. The wires are not that flexible compared to this tree, which again, I think this is quite beautiful. However, it's not as pokey. You can turn your branches easy as you work. But now let's do a side by side and then we'll check a template and see how close they are. I'm going to pick them up and bring them close to you. So let's see if you can see the difference in color and thickness of the two trunks. This one here is 22 gauge. This one here is 24. I can promise you that this wire has changed. I can no longer say I love it as much as I did. And everything I did was with only one wire in 22 and 24 gauge. The difference now, it is for 22 gauge, it's not as stiff, but the color looks white. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's not as shiny to me. This is very shiny. This looks washed out. But that's the difference, my friends. In a 22, which is this, and a 24, which is this. I do say right now I'm liking the shine in color of and the easiness and the twisting of this wire, the 24 gauge, and oh, for a template, let's see. Let's put that tree. Look at that. They're almost exactly the same. Wow, this was fun. I'm glad I did this tutorial. So, this will be part 2. I'm going to try, I'm keeping notes, to do a side-by-side when I'm done beading. I might just do them, I don't want to do them the same, it's no fun, but I will do a side-by-side, and I will put them in the same playlist so that you can find them easily. And if you don't find them easily, send me a message. You can email me if you want privacy. If the questions you want to ask me, I always answer, always. And if you want to leave a message, please leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. It helps me to bring you better content, and it helps my channel. I never thought I would have so many of you. So I babble. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. I just do it. I'm going to leave you with this 22 gauge wire. 12 wires. I cut them 14 inches long. I'm going to put them all in the description box. I overcut because my hands hurt. I'm old and I've had a lot of surgery. You can cut off and take an inch off if you'd like. It's up to you. You'll learn what your technique is and the tension of your twist. So I will see you in the next part of this group of tutorials. Bye, guys.